This is a Lamborghini Gallardo, a four-wheel drive two-seat supercar powered by a V10 5-litre engine. It is owned by Peter de Fiat, a man who likes to explain that his children must have got all their good looks from him because his wife still has hers. Peter is a mechanic, but no ordinary mechanic, and his Lamborghini is his laboratory. His field of study? Making cars perform better, and he does it with electronics.
Most people are aware of what a chip means. And that is long changed since the original days of the chip, where you actually change the chip in the computer box to reprogram the performance parameters of it. Our product, we call it a Unichip, giving the implication that it's a universal chip. In other words, it can do what all other chips can do combined. Plus, it can do a lot more.
To prove his point, he took an already insanely quick Gallardo and made it quicker, much quicker, and brought in some of the best in the business to help him.
Peter de Fiat approached me to get involved in this project because I've had 20 years of experience in testing cars, and he also approached me because I own a very handy piece of equipment, the RaceLogic V-Box. And with the V-Box we can measure all kinds of performance parameters very accurately, and we can take that information that it gathers, it saves to a memory card, it interfaces with the global positioning satellites, and from that information we can get an exact speed and position of the vehicle on the globe. And we then take that data, which we collect to a memory card, and we can analyze it afterwards and come up with some very interesting performance numbers.
The Unichip, developed by Peter, are manufactured in his laboratory-like factory near Pretoria, South Africa. Here he explains how it's done.
Okay, so what we want to demonstrate here, or show you, is our X-ray machine. It's the latest state-of-the-art product that's available. So basically the part you're looking at is this little part of my finger, which we are zooming in using the X-ray machine. What we are seeing there are the actual wires of the actual silicon chip in the little part connecting the silicon to the individual legs. You can go in even more on it, and you can see the actual quality of the bond of the wires. So you can go beyond testing your own product. You can make sure that the parts you get from your suppliers are actually proper and on standard. So we use this mostly for quality control, and after the fact inspection, should anything go wrong, we analyze it to see why any failures could happen and how to prevent in the future. Okay, so this is basically a computerized pick and place machine. In other words, it picks and places the various parts. Because the boards are so compact and the parts are so as small as possible, it is not possible to build a product like this by hand. So it's all computer built. As it picks up every part, it actually verifies that the part is perfectly positioned. If it's slightly skewed, it will actually correct it before it places it on the board. And so being the first board of the day they're building, they check it with a microscope to make sure all the placement and everything is correct before they do the whole run. Because obviously if you do build a problem into it, you build a lot of problems into all the units very quickly. At this machine, we pass a panel of 4 Unichips together at a time. The machine scans all parts on the board and then actually compares it with a known image as to what it should be like. It will detect any wrong parts, skewed parts. We can set the sensitivity of the machine, so we always set it oversensitive, so that even if the printing by the manufacturer on the part isn't exact, it will show it up as a fault. All faults are then visually checked and magnified by the operator to see whether it is indeed a fault or not. At this stage, all the Unichips are encased in an aluminium box, then filled with epoxy resin to protect it against vibration and moisture ingression to make it a tougher product. See, it's got the serial number on it now. It's a fully functioning computer that we add to the vehicle, with which we can drive extra injectors, control turbochargers, do many things more than what the normal chip can do. And that's also showcasing the Lamborghini that with a normal chip you will not be able to achieve what we have achieved with a Unichip in this particular project. So we can have different boost levels, we can have different performance factors, we can control the clutch to some degree because the guy has a robotic clutch. These are all things that you cannot do with a normal chip.
Clearly a Lamborghini Gallardo is a very fast car, even in its standard form. It's light, it's got a very powerful V10 engine, but what it did before really pales into insignificance. So in the case of this car, we saw that in its modified form, it can now accelerate from 0 to 200 kilometers an hour in a little more than 9 seconds. And in fact, it travels from 100 to 200 kilometers an hour in about 4.5 seconds.
The original say it's about 500 horsepower on the flywheel at the coast, and so we are making at this altitude about 1,300. So we're making more than 3 times the power it originally made at this altitude. The 0 to 100 times will be governed solely by the amount of traction that you can get. So the bigger rubber you're going to put on the softer tires, the faster the 0 to 100 times will come. But really will give one a better idea as to how fast it really is. Will probably be the 100 to 200 times and the 200 to 300 kilometer per hour time. This morning, so we ran under 5 seconds from 100 to 200 kilometers per hour, which is faster than most cars will be from 0 to 100.
Next stop, a disused military airstrip to test just that. Acceleration times from 100 to 200 and 200 to 300 kilometers per hour. The benchmark, placed there by themselves, is what is purported to be the fastest production car in the world, the Bugatti Veyron.
Obviously, because the figures I got, that was 9.22, but of course it's...
Okay, the figure that you...
the official Veyron
is that their claimed figure?
Was 9.22, yeah. So
potentially the car is going to be, could be substantially quicker than a Veyron between 100 and 300.
Yeah.
That's the benchmark, and yeah, I think 0 to 100 has become a fairly academic figure in this day and age. So we need to look at 100 to 300, and I think potentially we've got a car here that'll beat a Veyron 100 to 300. How did that go? It certainly looked.
Let's see. Yeah.
Looked and sounded good.
So well, what have we got?
Well, it looks like we've got some very good news indeed. There's your fastest run, 100 to 200 kilometers an hour in 4.3 seconds.
That's very good. The 200 to 300 in 9.22. We did this in 7.63 seconds. So that's substantially faster.
And 100 to 300 in 11.93.
Gee, that's even better than I hoped for.
So we did the sub 12 that we were hoping for, and those look like Veyron eating numbers to me.
That's definitely the case.
Fantastic.
I'm going to show you with the cell phone, and I can switch the backfire on and off. We can select high and lower power levels. Easiest to show is just the backfire on and off.
On your cell phone, you've got those different formats set up,
the
templates or whatever. I mean, just how many different?
We've got one set of maps, which has got 10 different maps in it for different things, for timing and fueling and boost control and extra injectors, whatever we want to do with it. But of those, we have 5 sets.
The control of the vehicle via the Unichip goes far beyond what is first imagined. For example, using a mobile phone to call in a backfire.
With the same product, and if I put it into the Toyota, the Unichip can be set up that it knows it's in the Toyota and it will be correct for that, and if it's in a Subaru, it will know it's in a Subaru. But then further, I can select these map sets